again. This is my second video. Usually I try to do a trilogy of videos for you, and this is the second one today. It's Sunday. I don't know the day. We're in the month of November. It might be about the 20th of November. Oh my God, it's like a month before Christmas. What am I gonna do? I don't even have money to buy a tree, never mind like presents for everybody. I'd like to go to America for Christmas this year, but I don't know if it's going to work out or not. But we'll see. It's sort of like my fantasy. Anyway, so welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I talk about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, and Duchess Meghan, his beautiful wife. And I am very pro the Duke and Duchess. I want them to succeed and win, and I hope that they will go the distance with their marriage and relationship and family. And yeah, I mean, if you're not sort of so enthusiastic about them, it happens. I don't see how it's possible, but it does happen. But I hope that by listening to my videos, you will, I don't know, start to try to change your mind a little bit and try to be a little bit more objective about them. And you know all of that. It's life is short, and I just feel like we need to live and let live a little bit more in the world, and we need to be kinder, right? We all do, and that includes me. I'm the first in the line. We need to work on that a little more as human beings. Anyway, one more thing, the lighting is bad. In my videos, in all my videos, I can't get the lighting because it's very dark. I'm in Paris, so if you live here or if you don't but you visit, you know that in the fall and winter it's very gray and dark. And then my apartment probably is a little dark too in the lighting, so it's just a lighting fiasco. So I apologize for that. One more thing, I would love to have you as a follower. I'm trying to get to 200. I expect it will take a couple of months at a minimum, unless I go into this very long plateau. And so I hope you will help me to get there. Anyway, so in this video, I wanted to talk about what did Meghan do wrong? How did she go so wrong with this? Um, and I understand it, but I don't know if I can explain it. It's an instinct. I just understand by instinct. I'm very sort of I'm like intuitive. I can just understand certain things. But um, I have all my marshmallows in here. They're kind of like, hmm. Sorry about that. So where did she go wrong? I think she wouldn't have had an easy time no matter what with this, because she is very different. And as human beings, I think that we are all wired to be more comfortable with what and who looks most like us. I think that even if she were English and she were quote unquote white, I want to stop using these labels because for me this black white thing needs to go, but that's another thing. That's like later. Okay. I have a lot of work to do. That's one of those things. But even if she were English and white, quote unquote, I think it would have been difficult because look at Sarah Ferguson, look at Princess Diana. I mean, it's not easy to enter. I mean, except for Kate Middleton, and maybe to some extent Sophie Rees-Jones. It's hard to sort of integrate into the royal family, even when you have all of the characteristics and coded, passes that are required. So under the best of circumstances, I think someone like Meghan Markle would have had trouble, because she just doesn't have the pass, in terms of the when you try to get into like a VIP lounge in New York or something, and that, I mean, I've never tried, but well, once I did try, but I don't want to go into that. But no, it wasn't a VIP lounge. It was this restaurant. It was a restaurant. It was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's frickin' Eve in New York City, and this my date. Like it was one of the few New York. No, it was one of the few New Year's Eves in my entire life because I usually don't have a New Year's Eve date that I actually had a frickin' date, and he was gorgeous. He was a very tall, very dark man, and he was a cellist, in fact, and so he was very elegant and very tall and very dark, and he looked like a movie star actually, and so we show up, and I'm very young and gorgeous. Like, I mean, it was my best year. You should have seen my body, that, my long black thing I had on and whatever. And we show up at this restaurant, and they tell us there's no room in the inn. We can't get in. Like, there's, like, sorry. And he's in his tux, you know what I'm saying? He's gorgeous in his tux. Poor Richard. Oh my God, I hated him actually. But anyway, um, and so I don't know if it's the owner or what it was, but this person comes and he sees this man, this gorgeous man, with, I guess, this woman who didn't look so bad. I was very young at the time. And suddenly there was room in the inn, and they let us in. And because we had the pass, we had the code, so whatever that looked like, we were just gorgeous. It was just fucking gorgeous. Okay. Sorry, but okay. It was like this. Okay. So, Meghan, back to Meghan. I digressed. I always digress. Meghan doesn't have that past, that imagine pass. She's not English. She's not white. She's not, and she's, even her on her father's side, who is white. I mean, with all due respect, it's not someone who is considered, according to the English people, in the upper class, right? So it's a class thing, it's a race thing, okay? Look, if she was Asian, if she was Chinese, if she was Cambodian, if she was anything other than a white British girl, she would have had trouble. If she was white and British, she'd still would have had trouble to a lesser extent, okay? But she really compounded that by being so completely different in that sense. That's step one. Step two, she is so different, and yet she could not be dismissed easily. Like, it was not possible to just make fun of her, because okay, if you're going to be so different, be like me, for example. I mean, I show up there with a nose like this and hair like this. I mean, it's easy to sort of caricature me and dismiss me. And for Meghan, it was more difficult. Like, they couldn't caricature her because, frankly, in many ways, she was and is more than others who have the past to enter into the VIP lounge. You know what I mean? She's very articulate. She's clearly very well educated. She has the requisite natural long hair. She has the requisite skin color and complexion. And on top of all of that, she also has a certain amount of confidence, which for any woman, no matter what race she is or her nationality, can get you into some trouble, because people are very uncomfortable with, this is getting too long, with women who know their worth and who know who they are. So she went wrong there. But there were other things, like, I mean, in her place, and some of it is Harry's fault, where he was very naive also. Look, if I were in their place and he absolutely insisted that he wanted to marry me, we would have eloped. We would have eloped like you have no idea. No one would have come to our wedding, right? We'd have gone to Vegas, had a quiet wedding, and a week later, it would leak out in the press, and then Harry would admit it. But, like, I'd been hiding for a long time, and eventually, when they met me, they would never have paid for a dime of my wedding. I would not have moved into Frogmore Cottage. Very gradually, I would have, um, you know, in Harry's place, I would have brought out my wife to the British people, rather than the sort of public way that they did it, and then the big wedding and things like that. This needed to be something that you fed to people in very small doses, if you know what I mean. So there was that. What else did she do wrong? Well, I think once she got to the palace, it was impossible for her to genuflect as required. I mean, all this, what do you call it? Not genuflection, but you do the thing where you curtsy, even if not a physical curtsy, but a mental curtsy, where you're expected to be this subservient person that, I mean, even I can't do it. And look at me. Never mind Megan. Megan is, in this hierarchy of in this animal kingdom in which we are, she and I are not in the same league. She's like way out of my league. But even I could not bring myself to even imagine all this curtsying and genuflection. I mean, what are you talking about? And she's just like, are you out of your mind? I can't do this. And so because that's how she felt, they picked up on it, that again, that it was impossible to caricature her and to, stereotype her. And people don't like that. People need to have their entertainment, and they need to have you as they want you in order to be happy. I mean, one of the reasons like comedians and sports people are allowed to make all this money is because they perform and they entertain people as the people want to be entertained. Um, in other professions, it's not so easy if you're not in a certain sort of category to be very, very successful, because you're not funny, right? You're not entertaining. And I think Megan went wrong with being very, you know, unwilling to be the entertainment. So they're going to turn her into the entertainment anyway, but in a way that is very painful for her, because they want to bring her to the level that they need her to be. Anyway, I have to stop here. We could talk about this more, but this is 12 minutes. See you in the next one. Bye.